Good evening and welcome. This is One World Sports Radio. My name is Coach Dave. Alongside me for his rugby debut is Ruth. This is South Africa A, pretty much stacked South Africa A that is going to be captained by Lukhanyo to take on the British and Irish Lions. This is it's almost like a bonus test where South Africa will play almost a precursor to the 3-match test series. As I said, alongside me is Ruth. Good evening, Ruth. How are you feeling?
A bit nervous, I have to be honest, but looking forward to it. Should be a good, entertaining match.
Absolutely. So, definitely. So, this evening's match official, Jaco Paper, he is assisted by Wayne Barnes, AJ Jacobs, and Marius Jonker is your TMO. We are from Cape Town Stadium, and this is a very stacked South African team. Ruth, do you just want to run through that South African A lineup?
Yeah, so you've got Steven Kitshoff with Joseph Dweba, Trevor Nyakani at 3, Ibn Esabeth and Franco Mostert are 2 locks, Marco van Staden at 6, Pieter Teftetua at 7, Jasper Wiese at 8, De Klerk and Morne Steyn at 9 and 10, Corsi, Damien Dalinde, Lukhanyo Jason Colby and Billy Leroux finish the back line.
Absolutely. So we're just going to come back to that British and Irish Lions squad in a moment. Owen Farrell kicks off and it's into the South African hands. Faf de Klerk out the back of the ruck, the first one of the game. Fantastic bit of work there by Ibn Etzebeth to follow up with a tackle there. South Africa looking to hammer this breakdown early, and it looks like there's going to be a turnover ball. There is. Faf de Klerk sends it wide. Now the ball is going through the hands, middle of the park. Lukhanyo on the ball. He immediately slips and falls, not quite getting his footing early on here. The South Africa A captain. Box kick, almost an option there, but immediately called mark at the back there by Anthony Watson. So British and Irish Lions squad, let's call it out quickly. Wyn Jones, Ken Owens, Kyle Sinclair, Maro Itoje, Ian Anderson, Josh Navidi, Tom Curry, Taulupe Falatau. Connor Murray is their captain today. Owen Farrell came in place of Dan Bigger. Liam Williams is the left wing. And Bundy Aki, Chris Harris are your center pairing. Lewis Rees Zamet is your right wing. And the fullback, Anthony Watson. We'll give you those substitutes in a little bit of time. But it's an immediate intent from the South African A squad, Ruth, with the way that they're hitting the breakdowns hard early on.
Yeah, no, they're definitely hitting it hard, trying to get that turnover ball, putting the British Lions under pressure. The more you've got, if you keep the ball away from their wings, you really struggle. What's the word? You're strangling them.
Absolutely. So just having a look at that free kick, it was immediately given to the British and Irish Lions. Remember, they kicked from inside their 22 when they called mark. And so the South Africans returning it through Faf de Klerk, and there was an immediate call for offside there. So that ball goes straight out. Owen Farrell, the man who was at Rugby World Cup 2019 in that final, a game in which many expected him to do really well, and he wasn't able to contain this South African play, and eventually the Springboks were able to overcome. A lot of those Springboks that were in that game are in today's game. Maro Itoje finds his captain Connor Murray, who immediately throws it wide to Bundy Aki. There's a ball going through the hands. There's a couple of fumbles here as we see Chris Harris on the ball. He's immediately brought down by the South African pack of forwards. There's a penalty coming here, and the South Africans are all on top of it. It's Lukhanyo and Damien Dalinde, the center pairing that were in that World Cup. But Damien Dalinde on top of it early on with some support from Spoon Corsi. It's a little bit of ill discipline from both sides early here.
Yeah, no, definitely. But South Africa very quick to the breakdown, and the British and Irish Lions just not quick enough, trying to play it wide and just not having the numbers out wide, trying to get the wings into the game. But South Africa very quick on defense and not giving them the time to work it through to their wings.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting contest between these two teams. It's one that's very, it's almost expectant that it's going to be a very physical one. Dweba with the throw. Now he finds Mostert, who finds De Klerk. De Klerk to Steyn. Steyn immediately finds the young man Jasper Wiese, who got his debut last week, but it's a turnover ball from the South African A squad, and it's a poor bit of work as Marco van Staden is having to do the work here. Wynne Jones at the back with a ball to Farrell, who kicks it deep into the South African A22, and there's going to be some work here for Sbu Nkosi to clean up. He does. He immediately kicks it out to the far touchline. Remember, these teams are playing, the SAA team are playing left to right in green and gold, and the British and Irish Lions in their traditional red and white. So now a contested ball in the middle of the park, and it picks up. It falls kindly to Joseph Dwebo, who picks it up and goes for a run. He's immediately got support. Faf de Klerk with a little chip over the top for Willie Leroux, who's chasing it down here, but it looks like it's going to go harmlessly into touch. And Anthony Watson was put under pressure by the well, you could call him the first choice Springbok fullback there, but it was a great bit of work there from Dwebo to see what was going on there and snatch the ball. Immediately a fast-paced line-out here for the British and Irish Lions, but it's the Springboks, or not the Springboks, rather the SAA team, who are hitting the first 10 minutes with a good bit of pace here. Faf de Klerk to Peter Steph du Toit. He's back at the back of the ruck. Damien Dillon breaks through the first couple of tackles, but is immediately shoved back by Bundy Aki. Faf de Klerk looking for options left and right. He's got Kitsoff on his right-hand side. He doesn't. He goes to Marco van Staden, who gets some momentum going forward. Yeah, the Springboks are playing a high-intensity game. Faf de Klerk, he finds Jasper Wiese. He's got some support there from Trevor Nyakane. Faf de Klerk near side of the field, just over the 22-meter line. He throws it and finds another SAA player. He's quickly getting through these teammates of his, and he finds Eben Etzebeth, who gets brought down about 10 meters short. There's a short-term penalty, and there's a try from South Africa. It looks like Sbu Nkosi is the man. This is like 150 kilometers an hour. There was a penalty coming, and then there was a throw from Faf de Klerk left to his left, out to the far side touchline, and now there's going to be a TMO for Jaco Paper to send upstairs. Ruud, there was like 1,000 things going on at once there. You couldn't even analyze the game. My word.
No, you can't. But I love the high pace from South Africa. Not traditional South African rugby. We're a lot more physical normally, but I love the high pace, giving the British and Irish Lions a taste of their own medicine. Unfortunately for Nkosi, he is out, but
yeah,
I love the high pace. It's showing that, you know, we try to play a different kind of brand of rugby. We're playing the Northern Hemisphere rugby, and we taking their own game towards them and putting them under pressure.
Yeah, just unfortunate there for Sbu Nkosi. It reminds me of that Jacques Fourie try that changed the game in 2009. It's no try, and Jaco Paper says the scoreline will remain the same, 0-0, as we pass through the 5-minute mark. Unfortunate there. It was a good bit of build-up play from the Springboks, but rather, not the Springboks, the SAA. You see, the trap that we're going to fall into, Ruud, I think, is thinking this is a Springbok team. This is full of Springboks, and I think only two players, Joseph Dwebo and somebody. Yeah, and I think Nicholas Janssen van Rensburg. Well, Jasper Wiese got his. Remember, he got his debut in the Georgia game. He came off the bench during that Georgia game. So this is a packed squad. It's guys with well over 30, 40, 50 caps are playing in an A squad. But for those who aren't quite sure what's going on, it is because of COVID. There's a number of COVID cases within the South African camp. Siya Kolisi, Francois Steyn, Makazole Pimpi. A number of guys have been hit with the COVID virus, and so they're having to kind of make do with the other members of the 45-member squad. So just inside the 22-meter line, about 15, 16 yards in, 20 meters in rather, a chance for Morne Steyn to get the 3 points. He does. He slots it over, and the South Africa A squad lead 3-0, 6 minutes. Ruud, tell us about how South Africa A got to that point with a 3-0 lead.
Well, it was turnover ball from the line out. Quick play from Faf de Klerk, getting his backs, and then just working the phases, and then just getting it out to Nkosi, where it was unfortunately out. But I think the British and Irish Lions were offside, and penalty for South Africa A, and an easy kick for Morne Steyn.
So the following on of that is the kickoff at finds Faf de Klerk. He kicks a box kick, and South Africa are able to retain possession. The ball goes through the hands. Morne Steyn with a cross kick. He's looking for Spoon Corsi out wide. It's a fantastic bit of work from him as he was being put under pressure by Anthony Watson. It looks like there's going to be a turnover ball here, and the referee's blown his whistle because he's not happy with how they've gone about it. It's a knock on, and the British and Irish Lions will have a scrum there. It was a cross kick from Morne Steyn to find Spoon Corsi out wide, but he just didn't quite get it, convincingly enough, and the resultant penalty comes from the knock on is as a result of that attempt at trying to clean that up.
Yeah, but I love the intent so far from South Africa, showing that they're willing to throw the ball between the hands, not just going to play a physical game, but also trying to get their wings into the game, trying to put the British and Irish Lions under as much pressure as possible, and not giving them any of the ball and showing them just exactly how to play this game.
Yeah, Warren Gatland is a man who has done well against the South African team. You remember in World Cup 2019, he pushed the Springboks very hard and one of the few teams that really challenged the Springboks. So he's not going to show all of his cards, especially in the South Africa A game. I mean, it's a squad that you would probably be happy to call a full Springbok squad. There's a bit of a reset here for the scrum. But I think that's the key for Gatland here is he's got to look at what South Africa are going to show them and then how he can respond. I mean, he's not shown his cards completely and not really been tested in the domestic games. As we see the replay there, the scrum was Trevor Nyakane pulling his opposite number down there, Wyn Jones. So this is a nice way for South Africa to kind of open the door and see what's behind the curtain there for the British and Irish Lions.
No, definitely, but it's also a fact that this is nowhere near, I think, a full British and Irish Lions team. They've still got a lot more to offer. So it's going to be interesting to see when the test matches actually come against the Springboks, to see the full teams against each other. It will surely be something.
Absolutely, and we will be bringing you every single moment of it on One World Sports Radio, 1WSR.com. Go find us on YouTube, subscribe, ring the bell. You'll know exactly when we are going to be back. We're going to be bringing you live cricket from both Ireland, and we will be bringing you the Springboks against the British and Irish Lions. But we are here watching this game at Cape Town Stadium. It was a short-term penalty that happened. If you're wondering why there's a bit of break in play, there's a short-term penalty, South Africa guilty, and the British and Irish Lions are going to take a scrum here. Joseph Dweba, the hooker for today for the South African A team, a man who plies his trade in France. And so it's an interesting collection of South African players who have come from abroad and are able to do duty for the national team, even if it is in the A team. Another collapsed scrum, and there's a question to Jaco Paper from the South African front rowers as they ask the question, but what happened there? And it'll be a penalty once again. Owen Farrell kicks for touch here. So some early scrum woes here for the South African A team here, Ruud, as you take over for us.
Yeah. So it's probably just a bit, maybe a bit of nerves. I'm not quite sure. It could be. Otherwise, it's maybe just not finding their footing yet, not having been able to bond as a team quite of yet. As it is, Ken Owen into the line-out, finds Itoje, and they're getting the maul on the go. South Africa holding the maul properly. Now, Conor Murray waiting for the ball, wants to get the ball out, but the British and Irish Lions get them all going sideways, and Ken Owens breaks away. There's a breaking plan. Franco Morset is in, and he takes the ball, top turnover, and it's a penalty for South Africa.
Yeah, wonderful bit of work there by Franco Mostert, a man who was quickly onto that ball when the maul started gaining traction, but immediately kind of fell into a ruck. The British and Irish Lions may feel hard done by, but wonderful work there to steal it away.
Yeah, no, definitely. And Morne Steyn with the touch clearance just past the South Africans 22. Not the best clearance kick, but it will certainly do, as the South Africans are discussing their a very bad kick, actually, if you think about it, where it was on his 5-meter line and just outside the 22, the clearance. So probably not very happy with that Mornay Steyn, but will have to do as Dweba lining up for the line out. Throws, just waiting. Throws, he finds. Ooh.
It's kind of a dummy throw there. The ref's not happy.
Yeah. And it's a free kick to the British and Irish Lions. And Conor Murray takes it quickly into the number 7. Conor Murray into Carl Sinclair. Murray again into Toja, who takes it forward a few meters. And then Conor Murray again into Owen Farrell. And it's charged down. And Damien de Allende on the breakaway to Nkosi, who runs. Can Owen Farrell catch him here? Isn't Nkosi going to go all the way? No, he doesn't. Oh, and inside step, and he goes all the way for a try. So South Africa into the corner, scores 8-0. Well done, Nkosi.
What on earth happened there? It was a chase down kick, and immediately Damien de Allende was all over it like ants at a picnic. He snatched it away from the British and Irish Lions. South Africa deep in their own territory. It was Ibn Etzebeth who charged down that cross kick attempt from Owen Farrell, and immediately the massive center of Damien de Allende was on the brakes, but he knew immediately that his wing partner was on his left-hand side. A sidestep, and Owen Farrell not able to stop the man who has already scored today, but had that try disallowed. So wonderful work there from South Africa. 8-0, and there are 13 and a half minutes gone.
Great passage of play there by South Africa. Quite interesting to see Damien de Allende give it out so early to Nkosi and not having a go to the line himself and then giving it to him a bit later. But it worked out okay. Nkosi into the corner as Mornay Steyn lines up this kick just outside the 22 of South Africa on the touch of the British and Irish Lions, on the touch line. And it sails through the poles to score is 10-0. Top kick from Mornay Steyn. Flawless so far today.
Beautiful, beautiful. We're just going to quickly run you through the substitutes while we have an opportunity here. Malcolm Marx, Kuni Oosthuizen, the man who's been out in the shadows of the South African rugby circles. Vincent Koch is the replacement as well. That completes the replacement front row. Nicolas Janse van Rensburg, a new face to South African rugby fans. Reinhard Alstad, Herschel Yankees, Jesse Creel, and Damien Willemse.
As we have a substitute for the British and Irish Lions, Elliot Daly coming on for Williams as Faf de Klerk has a box kick off the clearance, and Cheslin Colby's chasing and a knock on from Elliot Daly, and it's covered by Marco van Staden. Faf de Klerk into Mornay Steyn, into Willie Leroux, puts a little chip over the top from Nkosi, but the bounce is favorable for Owen Farrell, who goes down. Damien de Allende taking him down, and it's the number 7, and Faf de Klerk tackles. And it's a breakdown ball here for South Africa. They're trying to get the turnover, but it's not going to happen. And Conor Murray setting up for the box kick. So far, so good for South Africa. Conor Murray up for the box kick, and it's Willie Leroux under it. It takes it well, goes down. Good breakdown from South Africa. And now Faf de Klerk, quick recycling, quick ball, marshalling the troops along. And it's into Trevor Nyakane, who takes it about 2 meters forward. Faf de Klerk going back to Mornay Steyn, who puts in the punt towards the British and Irish Lions, who take it just outside their 22, and it's Rees Zammit who takes a run for it, and he's not getting taken down, and it's a big tackle from Peter Steph du Toit as he takes down the wing, and Conor Murray under pressure here. His pass gets it out to, I'm not quite sure couldn't quite see, as Conor Murray again having slow ball. South Africa not giving these British and Irish Lions any chance to get quick ball and get it out to their wings, as Conor Murray puts up the box kick again, and it's Willie Leroux under it again. And it's not the cleanest of takes, but Franco Mostert is there to recycle it. And it's a penalty towards the British and Irish Lions for holding on. Top work, from the British and Irish Lions.
Yeah, fantastic bit of work there at the breakdown. I think just to come back to Elliot Daly making his way on the park for Williams. Williams taking a knock early on in the game, and so the British and Irish Lions, as a matter of caution, are going to take it looks like he's going to go for an HIA, or colloquially known as the ding dong test. But South African A under pressure here. It was a fantastic bit of opportunity for Willie Leroux to try and claim that ball, but in the end, it was he had a contest from Anthony Watson, but early possession and territory kind of split. Possession for the Springboks, but territory for the British and Irish Lions. Rather not the Springboks, the South African A. Scrum in the middle of the park.
That's penalty kick from Owen Farrell going past the try line. So there's a scrum from where the penalty was taken. It's just inside the South African half. So it's the third scrum of the game. Can South Africa hold their scrum a bit better against the British and Irish Lions pack? Or do you think it's going to be a one-way contest all game?
I think these South African forwards here have been very underworked when it comes to game time. Not many of them have had some time in match situations. So it's going to be key to see how they go about it. Yeah. Short-term penalty for the Springboks. I think it looks like a bit of an early engagement.
Yeah, probably from the British and Irish Lions. Free kick for South Africa. I think they'll probably go for another scrum or either go for a quick tap. Can't see them going for the line out. They'll lose the ball. Yeah, they are going for another scrum. So the scrum so far 2-1 for the British and Irish Lions. So it's still pretty even, but we saw that South African pack under a lot of pressure in the first two scrums.
Yeah, definitely. This is a Springbok group. The 45 is a number of them you could happily say could play as a starting Springbok. So good competition for positions here. Nobody is guaranteed, which means guys are always going to be working at their craft.
The scrum resets with South Africa choosing to take a scrum with the front free kick, and Faf de Klerk puts it into the scrum, and the scrum is holding very tightly on both sides. It's not moving at all, and the ball comes out to Faf de Klerk, who gives it to Morné Steyn, who puts a nice grubber kick over the top, and it's Elliot Daly under a lot of pressure from Chisler Colby, but gets it out to the wing, who kicks it forward, but kicks it out straight into touch, and South Africa have a line out just outside the British and Irish Lions 22.
Cheslin Colby's got to be careful there. That was a slightly late tackle. It was, he right on the touchline, and he dove right as the kick was being made. But he's got to be careful there that the assistant referee doesn't have a word in the ear. It was Louis Rees-Zammit, who's the victim there. It's something that South Africa don't want to be guilty of is senseless penalties, Ruud.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Especially already with them being under a lot of pressure at the breakdowns. You don't want them getting all that territory and then giving them the position as well. Are you going to take over now for the next 10 minutes or so, Dave?
Yeah, sure. So South Africa, 20 minutes into this game, are leading the British and Irish Lions 10 points to 0. We're just looking at Rees-Zammit there on the back of his head. He's got a lightning bolt shaved into his head. It's actually fantastic. I don't know if he's a Harry Potter fan, or he maybe just thinks he's fast like lightning. I don't know. It's something that we'll have to have a look at. But that late tackle was right in front of
the referee.
It was a tackle that was right in front of Wayne Barnes. Yeah, but he's an experienced referee. He's not gonna miss out on something like that.
No, definitely not.
Throw now to Franco Mostert. It's an even throw. Wonderful bit of work. The Dweber has the ball right at the back of the maul as the South African nation are fantastically working over the British and Irish lines here. Faf de Klerk in support. He's got options to his left and right, but Dweber is not letting go of it just yet. As South Africa make a couple of meters here. He's got Cheslin Colby on his right-hand side, and there's immediately a advantage for the South African A for collapsing the maul, and we're going to see how it comes out here, whether or not we're able to get some play. The referee, Jaco Paper, says they've collapsed the maul, and so immediately the whistle is blown. It's a bit of senseless behavior from the side entry, rather. No. My apologies. It's Maro Soje, the guilty party there, and he's been penalized correctly so.
Yeah, that's very that's not very sensible from British and Irish Lions, giving away unnecessary penalties. And South Africa, if they're smart, I thought they would go for poles and increase that lead, but instead they're going for the touchline. So interesting ploy from South Africa, obviously wanting to get that more going.
I think, and that's an important thing for those listening, for the difference between this game and Test rugby. You and I both know that at 10-0 up in the 21st minute of the game, you're probably going to kick for poles, and then you're 13-0 up, halfway through the first half. So it's an interesting call here. I think they clearly want to spend some time throwing the ball through the hands and working on their forward players. Etzebeth immediately takes it. He's got Dweber with him right at the back, who has the ball now. South African A team are not finding much traction here. They try and go a little bit sideways. They break around the outside. There's a wonderful bit of stopping work there by Ken Owens, the British and Irish Lions hooker, and South Africa A having to work once again, and there's a bit of handbags going on between Wyn Jones and Faf de Klerk, who's been thrown everywhere, who throws his hands up and says, what's going on here? Marco van Staden on the ball. Faf de Klerk, he's got Willie Leroux on his right-hand side, who's got Damien Delende. He skips him. He goes to Cheslin Kobe, steps in one side. He's held up short about 3 meters from the try line. There's a penalty coming here for South Africa. And immediately, as the ball bobbles over the line, there's no one to collect it. Louis Reese Zamet collects it, but there was already that arm stuck out there. What on earth happened there? I mean, Willie Leroux with a fantastic pass. The medic is still trying to get off the field. He sidesteps Zamet and is held up short by Conor Murray. That was chaos. It was just not releasing there from the British and Irish Lions.
And we can't forget Faf de Klerk getting thrown around like a sandbag. It's all.
I'm surprised.
Comedy, rugby, yeah, but it's comedy, rugby, everything.
Yeah,
one.
Absolutely. I think if we saw that kind of thing happening to an Eben Etzebeth, I think there might be a different conversation happening there with as we see Wyn Jones. Yeah, I mean it's one that has, that we're just looking at a previous not a late tackle, a fantastic bit of work there from the South Africans as they're absolutely hammering Anthony Watson, the fullback, as he not Anthony Watson, it's Williams rather, who got hit early on. Massive hits here by the South African A team. They're not here to play around.
No, definitely not. Even Cheslin Kolbe, the short guy, showing he can tackle a guy and put him on the ground into the medic's office. Oh, it's nice to see
Absolutely.
Rassi.
So it's
Rassi. No, go for it.
Yeah, Ruud is still thinking about the South African loss to the Irish yesterday, but we're going to focus on hammering the British and Irish Lions here today. Faf de Klerk has a scrum feed on the near side of the park, just inside the touchline. It's about at the 5-meter mark, and there's going to be a quick reset here. So an opportunity for the South African A to put 5 more points on the board. What's happening here with the British and Irish Lions? Do you think that they've just been hit by the pace in the first 10 minutes and then the hammering of the hits that they've been getting since then?
I think they probably expected a lot more physical game from South Africa, not as quick-paced game. So that might just be a bit shocked and maybe just getting into their work a bit later than they would have wanted to, having to adjust their game plan a tiny bit. So, and then maybe a newer British and Irish Lions team, not the normal team you would, with all the experienced players you'd normally see. So maybe just a bit shocked, shocked. That's all.
Absolutely. South Africa with the feed, a big push here by the South Africans, but it's them who are guilty of collapsing the scrum. And the penalty, Jaco Paper says, is on the far right-hand side. The guilty party, Trevor Nyakane once again, but fantastic bit of work there by the British and Irish Lions forward pack there. They've absolutely hammered the South African A here at scrum time.
I know they definitely have, but it's actually been pretty fair if you think about the previous scrum. South Africa were putting British and Irish Lions under the pump. So I think it's just it's going 50-50 at the moment, but British and Irish Lions look like they might have a bit of the upper hand in the scrums. Oh, that's a big
pat on the back to Wyn Jones there. The next line out goes to the British and Irish Lions, but immediately Dweber hammers the flanker Josh Navidi as we see Conor Murray setting up here for a box kick. He does. It goes high into the air, crossing the halfway mark, but it looks like it was at risk for a brief moment of going out there, but it's caught nicely by Jasper Wiese just on the inside. and Jaco Paper is saying there's obstruction. And there's another penalty. It's frustrating here for both sides as ill discipline is causing these two teams to have stop and go, stop and start kind of play here.
Yeah, it's not the rugby you want to see from both teams just making stupid decisions at stupid times. Looking at British and Irish Lions having made giving a few stupid penalties away in South Africa just now. Senseless play there. It shouldn't have been a obstruction there, but either way,
obstruction penalty,
nothing you can do about it now. Yeah, put it Faf de Klerk just in the way there of the wing.
Clearly see that Conor Murray throwing it wide to Bundy Aki, who's brought down in the tackle. Owen Farrell finds Elliot Daly, who stabs it through, but there's no one at home, and so Willie Leroux has to double back and turn around, and he kicks that one, and it looks like it's out. Immediately taken by the British and Irish Lions. A fantastic bit of work as they throw it through the hands. They're coming out wide here. There's an opportunity as they cross over the 22-meter mark. It's Falatau with the man who's the ball in hand. Is right near on the South African 8 touchline. The ball goes from Murray to Henderson, who is brought down, pushed back a little bit by the South African forwards as there's a penalty coming here. There's an advantage by the referee, Jaco Paper, who finds Rhys Zammit, who turns around and immediately the ball bobbles out and collected by Ches and Colby. But it's a penalty again. This is irritating from both sides. You know, the ill discipline, whether it be simple errors or forced errors, it's still not acceptable.
Yeah, but in all offense to Ibn Isabeth, he tried to get out of that ruck, but just couldn't. And unfortunately, if you can't get out, you're getting penalized. But it's unfortunate for somebody like Ibn Isabeth. But this is the
it's one of...
No, go for it.
It's one of those things that, unfortunately, Ibn Etzebeth is trying to get out, but because there's so many on top of each other, that's why it's frustrating. Owen Farrell here with an opportunity to kick for poles. It's his first opportunity to kick through the sticks. But you were telling us about the type of rugby that these teams would like to play.
I think this is a rugby the British and Irish Lions would like to play, getting that quick ball, getting the wings on the outside, playing that nice and attacking running rugby, not the physical rugby they've been playing and the defensive rugby they've been playing for the first 27 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. As we head up to the half-hour mark, an opportunity here. You would think a probably simple kick here for Owen Farrell. He steps up now and he slots that through. So 10-3 as we eke up towards the half-hour mark, 27 and a half minutes played. And for South Africa, an opportunity just maybe to recollect their thoughts. This A team is one that a lot of them play overseas, but as a unit that wouldn't have played all that much. So there's a lot of experience in a guy like Morné Steyn, a man who was around for the last British and Irish Lions series. But experience is wonderful, but if you aren't able to connect with your team, it's going to be a challenge, as we see Itoje collecting the restart there for the British and Irish Lions. There's opportunities out, probably a shorter one left and right, but it looks like it is going to be a Conor Murray box kick here as he's setting up nicely. Owen Farrell is immediately on his bicycle, but it doesn't go very far. It kind of hangs in the air. Jasper Wiese connects it, but he knocks it on in that case. So it's an advantage now for the British and Irish Lions. Itoje passing the ball on to Tom Curry, who breaks through the line. There's a wonderful bit of work here for the British and Irish Lions, but it's popped out, and a great bit of work there by the South Africans. Presence of mind. Marco van Staden is the man who does the cleanup work. Faf de Klerk to Willie Leroux, who punts this downfield to give the South Africans an opportunity to rest for a bit. Immediately sent back by Anthony Watson. Clearing up work here by Willie Leroux. He's giving it now to Morné Steyn, who sends a cross kick to the right-hand side of the park for the Springboks. It's nicely collected there by Rhys Zammit. A bit of ping-pong rugby going on here between these two. Back to Morné Steyn, who looks like he's setting up once again for a kick, and it looks like that one is going to go out on the full. So a bit of frustration from those teams, but it's kind of back and forth, a bit of ping-pong rugby here as the half-hour mark. You're going to take over for us, Ruud.
Yeah, well, just going back to that ping-pong, I was expecting a lot of this territory players. Both teams would like to play in the other team's half. You know, you never want to play in your own half, trying to get trying to get the territory. If you get territory, then you can get possession, and then you put the other team under pressure, and then they start making mistakes. So it's a good ploy from both teams. South Africa, I think, just coming up on top with that ping pong battle.
Yeah, Marco van Staden, the man, just getting a bit of an assessment from the medical team. He took a massive hit, 25 years of age, very young in his career. I think he's just got a bit of grass or something in his eye there, so he's just getting a good look at from the medical team. He seems okay, just a bit of a talking to as well from Rassie Erasmus, a man who's pioneered the way the South Africans look at rugby. But just talk us through that last little passage of play with the line break there.
Yeah, it's a good play from Itoje, drawing three defenders and then just giving it to Tom Curry, who breaks away and then goes over the advantage line. But well done by South Africa to get the ball back, as Ken Owens gives it to Itoje and trying to get them rolling more on the go. But South Africa blocking it out as Conor Murray puts up the box kick for Cheslin Kolbe, and it is out on the full. So South Africa will have the lineouts on just inside the lines 22 as Faf de Klerk goes for a quick take and go, but it looks like it won't count for some reason.
Well, he's thrown it straight back into the British and Irish Lions player, so it's gone from out to in to out again. So it looks like we're gonna have a serious lineout. I thought he was gonna dummy throw there. I honestly thought he was gonna try and fake out a throw, but line out time now. Well, maybe it slipped. Maybe it slipped.
Maybe. Just very powerfully as Dweba tries to find Ibn Esabeth, and he does into Faf de Klerk, who gives it to Morné Steyn, who puts a little chip over the top, collected by Reese Zamet, who gives it to Elliot Davey, who gives it to Anthony Watson. And South Africa on the British and Irish lines, trying to get the ball back, as Conor Murray giving it to his troops, giving it to number 6. Navavidi, and he's taken down pretty quickly as Conor Murray. Is he going to go for the box kick now? It does look like he is. He's just organizing the troops, and he goes for the box kick. Very not a hanging kick, just deep into Willie Leroux, who goes for the up and under, and it is Morné Steyn chasing it, and it's a very ball's fumbled, and Morné Steyn, South Africans are all over the British and Irish lines, but they managed to clear it, and Conor Murray into Owen Farrell, into Elliot Daly, who punts for touch, but doesn't quite get it into Cheslin Kolbe, and now he's got some room to move. And what can and Cheslin Kolbe gets the break, and he's got and he gets it into Lukanya, and Lukanya goes for the try, and South Africa lead 15-3. Top play by Cheslin Kolbe and Lukanya.
It's a question that I want to ask, and I think those of you who follow Squidge Rugby on YouTube, he said that Warren Gatland's got to try and put into practice his defensive options without throwing the game. He's at risk of throwing the game here because the wonderful bit of work by the South Africans there. Cheslin Kolbe, he sidestepped. He had Faf de Klerk on his right-hand side. He had his captain, Lukhanyo on his left, handing it over to the captain. Wonderful bit of work to sidestep the outside center, Chris Harris. Not able to get a hand on it. Wonderful. Eventually brought down by Daly, but it was too late because he gave it off to his captain. And the South African A team here, as we head into the final 10 minutes, lead 15-3 with the conversion still to come.
Looks like they're just scoring tries when I'm talking. It's giving me this it's making me very nervous because it's very quick talk, As Morné Steyn lining up for the kick, his third attempt, and he goes and he puts it through the poles. 2 more points. The conversion is successful. The score is 17-3.
I think the key, you mentioned it, Ruud, was the dummy throw to Faf de Klerk, and then immediately switching ends to go to Lukhanyo. And it's something that the South Africans would have worked on. A lot of their plans would have been unfolded ahead of this, but it's good to see they're back into this with a 17-3 lead.
As Owen Farrell kicks off to Jasper Wiese and Faf de Klerk, puts the box kick up for Cheslin Colby, and it's into Elliot Davey, who's got some time to spread those wings, and he gives it to Navidi into Tom Curry. And now the wing of Anthony Watson is unleashed, and now the British and Irish Lions have to scamper to get to the breakdown as Conor Murray gets it into the Owen Farrell to Elliot Davey running, getting it to Reese Zamet, who's dancing all around the South African defense. Conor Murray at the breakdown, getting it into Itoje, who gets it, and it's knocked on by Kevin Sinclair, but it's a penalty for the British and Irish Lions. I'm not quite sure for what, but it is a penalty.
Yeah, I think there was an advantage there for the British and Irish Lions, and the knock-on was kind of only the challenge there. But it's Franco Mostert who is the guilty party there. There was a late tackle by Eben Etzebeth further up the pitch towards the far end of the field, but it was Franco Mostert who didn't wrap his arms in one of his tackles, and that's why he was guilty. And immediately they kick for touch as the British and Irish Lions have an opportunity to score late here in the first half.
Do you think their rolling maul is good enough to be to get past the South African defense, which pretty much knows how to deal with those rolling mauls?
You see, I've not been surprised. 14 penalties in this first 35. I'm not being impressed by either of their mauls.
As Ken Owens finds Itoje, and it's a quick play as Nivadi gets back to gives a short pass into Owens as Falatua picks and drives. Now it's just a pick and drive battle pretty much now as Henderson picks and drives into South African, but he's brought down. Now Vidi in again. He picks and drives, but he's brought down 3 meters from the thing as Conor Murray gives it to Curry, and now it's Murray again, but no, he's not going to take it. It's Kevin Sinclair who takes it.
Curry and Murray,
drives. Takes it and is brought down, and now it's Henderson who takes it and is brought down again, and it's another pick and drive. You can't even see the numbers anymore. It's so many people in the ruck at the moment. As Conor Murray trying to
looks like Murray's going to give it to Curry. He doesn't.
He gives it to Owen Farrell, puts up a box kick across the field to Anthony Watson, who takes it cleanly and is almost on the try line, but it's well done by Vali Leroux to keep him out. As Conor Murray gives it to Navidi, who's just short of the line. It's Itoje. Is he going to go pick and drive? No, he's not. It's very, very close.
Yeah, it's Wyn Jones.
Wyn Jones. Oh, just short of the line, I think. Or is he over? No, he's not. I think he knocked it on.
I think he did. Yeah. That's frustrating, but they'll come back
for the penalty.
Yeah.
Oh, some interesting play there from Owen Farrell for the boxing across, and a quick tap and go quickly as Ken Jones. Oh, and it's number 4. And it's Wyn Jones again, almost on the try line by South Africa, just holding him back somehow. Conor Murray trying to get that ball out of the ruck, trying to get it to his men, as it is Ken Owens who goes for the pick and drive, can't get over the line. Now it's number 6. I'm not quite sure who that was. Did another pick and drive as it is Itoje picks and drives.
Another offside coming here for South Africa.
And South Africa immediately have turned over the ball, but it's another penalty for
offside
the British
again.
and Irish Lions.
Offside again. The clear plan here from the British and Irish Lions is to hammer this SAA team through the phases. It looks like they're going to tap and go again, because it looks like Ken Owens. Yeah, they're going to tap and go here. Drive for the line.
Ken Owens goes for
11th penalty for the South Africans.
Brought down, and now it is Wyn Jones with the ball, picks and drives, almost over the line, but South Africa, do they manage to hold him up? Jakob Pepper is trying to see, and it says it's hold up, and now it's a 5-meter scrum for the British and Irish Lions. Got to give it to South Africa. The defense is holding up at this moment in time, not giving the British and Irish Lions anything at this moment in time.
Absolutely. So just for those of you who are with us, while there's a bit of a discussion here between Lucanio Am and his men, and Ibn Etzebeth has a look, we're going to bring you the repeat of that Rugby World Cup final in 2019. That's 1WSR brought to you live at the time. So that's what we'll be bringing you during halftime. Don't go anywhere. You can enjoy the Springboks hammering the English as we see a bit of a change. Malcolm Marx coming on for Joseph Dweba as we head towards the final 2 minutes. The clock has stopped, but Ruth, you have to commend the defense work here by the South Africans.
It's top stuff from South Africa. Somehow keeping the British and Irish Lions pack at bay for the time being. Do you want to maybe quickly go through the British and Irish Lions subs, as we have not done that as of yet?
Yes, Luke Cowan-Dickey, Marco Vinapola, Zander Ferguson, Adam Beard, Tig Perini, Sam Simmons, Gareth Davies, and remember, Elliot Daly is already on the park for Williams. So, busy half for both teams, but obviously the scoreboard is the one that matters. So South Africa ahead as we head into the final couple of moments here, as we're just waiting for some medical treatment on Etzebeth. But an interesting decision to bring Malcolm Marx on so early in the game, as they have a look at the TMO here, where Lucanio Am has gone into a tackle there with Wyn Jones, and there's also Faf de Klerk who's gone in with a shoulder, and I don't think he's actually gone in with his arms. He might be guilty of something here.
He's gone in with his head.
He's holding his head, but he's not gone in with any arms there, Rut.
Yeah, no, he hasn't. But
that's
I think
a
butt on the head,
at the very least.
Yeah, butt on the head is a penalty enough. I don't think he needs to be put on for a penalty there. I think the reason they might bring.
Do you think a penalty try is coming?
Highly doubt it, because
sorry, Marks first.
I think the reason they bring on Mark so early is probably just to see what his stamina is up to, his fitness, see how long he can play for future games. And I think that with Faf de Klerk, no arms, but I don't think it's a penalty try since they pretty much ran over him. He didn't.
I mean, close to the line.
It is close to the line, but
at the very least, it's a yellow card.
Yeah, at the very least, it's a yellow card,
if not a red. I hope it's not a red. But well, you never know. So we're just having a look here. The both assistant referees with Yaku Paper are having a look at the screen, and Lucanio Am looking like I did when I got into trouble at school. Hands behind his back, just saying, "So what's the verdict here? Am I in trouble or not?" It looks like they're calling Yaku Paper is going to call over Faf de Klerk. He does indeed get the yellow card, but he's not gone in with his hands there. So 10 minutes, he's going to get a minute and a half here, and then he's going to get 9 minutes in the second half. But he looks confused. He's only confused because he's hit his head there, Ruud.
Yeah, no, I think he might just go for the ding dong test now and not have to do it afterwards. Maybe just the doctor might tell him, hey, there's a few screws loose. As Ken Owens takes a quick tap and go as he goes over the top of Jasper Wiese, who brings him down, as it's another pick and drive opportunity here. I can't see who is that with the ball, but it's a pick and drive. So the Africans defending well. British and Irish Lions on the line. It is Kevin Sinclair and Izzy. Just held short again. And now Tim Curry. Not Tim Curry. Tom Curry. It is Tom Curry just there. And it's another pick and drive. This is good defensive play from South Africa at this moment in time. It's another pick and drive go here for what looks to be Wyn Jones, who's just short of the line again. And it is Itoje with the ball at the ruck. Is he going to go for he's going to go for the pick and drive again. It's brilliant defensive play by South Africa at this moment in time. And it looks like Marco van Staden trying to take over that ball. And it's a penalty for the British and Irish Lions. And it's probably going to be another yellow card. I think it might be. Or they're just giving Yaku Paper just giving them a stern talking to. No, it is a yellow card.
No.
And it is Marco van Staden, who's also in the bin for 10 minutes. Not quite sure for what. Maybe playing the ball off his feet. But Africa down to 13
I think he's guilty there, because Yaku Paper would have known that. Yeah, close to the try line, and now they're going to have to defend, and that's the clear plan as the hooter goes. Yamara Toje with Ken Owens to support.
And now the pick and drive again here from Win Owens. South Africa with 13 men. Canada defend as Win Owens goes for it, but they bring him down just short of the line, and they're thinking it's a try, but is it a try? Or they're going in here. Jaco Paper trying to see if the ball is put down, and he can't say. He's going up for the TMO. Oh, some good defensive work here by South Africa, but is it a try? Is a try given? Or is
I
it
think
going up for the
he's going to go
TMO?
upstairs. I think they're going to go upstairs. It's Wyn Jones, the man who thinks he's got it there. The soft signal is try. So I think the discussion here between the TMO and Jaco Paper is there any reason that I cannot award the try? It's a wonderful bit of work there by the Springboks, but SAA. But take nothing away from the British and Irish Lions here. It was 7 or 8 phases of continuous pick and go that allowed them to get this. As much as the defense should be commended, the sheer work rate of this British and Irish Lions forward pack in the last 10, 12 minutes of this half have been absolutely incredible, and it's something that the pundits were talking about ahead of this game and ahead of the series to say the team that can tackle the most is the team that wins this series.
Yeah, no, they're definitely putting the South Africans under pressure here. Playing it, I think it's not a game they're used to. I think they're more used to the running game, but definitely putting the South Africans under pressure. As this angle, I can't see the ball getting grounded at all. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Oh boy, this I don't want to be a TMO. I don't want to be a TMO.
No, okay.
I don't want to be the guy to call it.
I think it does touch. I think it does touch there.
He looks over, but you can't actually see the ball convincingly. That's the problem.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not a TMO. That's why I'd rather be a cricket umpire, not so much pressure on you, and you can actually see the ball clearly all the time.
So just having a look here, you can see that he gets right up to the line, but you see with the way that his bottom half is turned, it looks like he could actually be
held up.
He could actually be held up here. Oh goodness, Jaco Paper, a busy man in this first half. The hooter has gone, and so I think if there is a try awarded here, and I think the TMO is going to say, look, I can't convincingly say that the ball has been grounded beyond the line because it stops and you can clearly see it, but beyond that, you just not quite there yet. Like, so I think there's going to be a discussion that it's held up.
Yeah, I don't think the try is going to be awarded yet. It doesn't with the reaction of the British and Irish Lions. Oh no, the try. What?
So it was a double movement. It was a movement there. That's kicked out. That's the end of the first half. So South Africa a 17-3 and a good half from the South Africans there, despite the late challenge from the British and Irish Lions.
Top stuff from South Africa. It's going to be an interesting start to the second half with only 13 men on the field.
Absolutely. So we will be bringing you the South Africa-England game from Rugby World Cup 2019, the final, which the Springboks won. So don't go away. We will be back very shortly to bring you the second half of this game. Don't go anywhere. Don't forget to tweet us at OneWorldSR and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Like that. Ding the bell so that you know exactly when we're live once again. We'll see you soon.
There we go.
Welcome back to this One World Sports Radio broadcast of the South Africa A game taking on the British and Irish Lions. Remember that you can tweet us at OneWorldSR. We're happy to chat with you. And don't forget as well, like and subscribe, like this video if you enjoyed our commentary. Remember, we are the only English radio commentary option for you for this series. So don't forget to we will bring you every single game of this British and Irish Lions tour against the Springboks, as well as if there is possibly a game on Saturday. Don't forget that as well. We are with you all the time for both rugby and cricket. So we will be joining you for the third game of the South African Island series that is going on at the moment. But my partner in crime, Ruud, is back with me. A couple of changes at halftime. Vincent Koch is on the field. It looks like there's a change there, as Malcolm Marx is also going to continue. Morné Steyn is the man who is going to kick us off once again. Ruud, as soon as we get a break in play here, I'll get your thoughts on the first half. As Morné Steyn kicks it deep into the British and Irish Lions 22. It's taken nicely there. There's a good bit of work there by Stephen Kitsoff to do the tackling there. Murray is the man who's going to set up for the box kick. Trevor Nyakane was the man who went off for Vincent Koch. Good take there by Cheslin Kolbe. He's pushed a little bit back, but he's got good support there from Malcolm Marx, as it looks like Franco Mostert is the man who's having to play scrummy at the moment there. He's got good support there from his forwards, but Cheslin Kolbe is the scrum off, as remember, Faf de Klerk is off the park at the moment. Good bit of work there to try and break through the line by Malcolm Marx. Cheslin Kolbe's looking options left and right. It's immediately to Morné Steyn, who gives a bit of a cross kick, an option for Spoon Corsi. He collects it in the end. Great bit of work there by the South African left wing. Willie Leroux into the scrum off position to Morné Steyn, who kicks it deep into British and Irish Lions territory. Not quite over the 22-meter line. That's a kick and go there by Owen Farrell. There's nobody really contesting that ball. It's rather Conor Murray who's doing all the good work. So we just need to see how this South African team, remember they're 2 men down, so there's going to be an opportunity here for the British and Irish Lions to do so. As they roll the ball through their hands, it goes to number 8, Falatau, who hands it off to his flank partner in Tom Curry, who's brought down just about 5 meters from the South African try line. They're having to do a bit of work here, are the South Africans. They were hammered in the last little bit here. The British and Irish Lions trying to stretch the South Africans here. A cross kick, but Lukanyu who's the man who's cleaned it up, calls for mark, and a brief sigh of relief for the South Africans, who are immediately being stretched here by the British and Irish Lions.
Yeah, no, definitely. British and Irish Lions obviously taking full advantage of the only 13 men for South Africa A. So really wanting to see if they can maybe get the scores either leveled or just get close to that South African A score.
Yeah, absolutely. Remember these South Africans being guilty of a couple of late disciplinary issues, and so what that means is that there are 2 men off in the sin bin in Faf de Klerk and the young man Marco van Staden. So it's going to be interesting to see how the second half pans out. The key with both teams going for that rather not the South Africans normally going with the 6-2 split, but rather at this point they're going to go for the 5-3 split. Remember, Herschel Jantjies is the man who's there, as well as Jesse Creel, Damian Willemse. Looks like there's going to be a head injury assessment here for Peter Steph du Toit on that tackle on Elliot Daly. So there's a bit of a switch here. He's shaking his head. He doesn't want to go off, but the medic is saying it's not your call. I don't care what you want to do. So it looks like there's going to be a slight delay in play here as South Africa get a substitute on in it'll probably be Janse van Rensburg here, if not Reinhard Alstad.
I think it's probably going to be Janse van Rensburg probably Alstad, because van Rensburg I'm presuming is on.
Yeah, it is Alstad. Alstad is in once again, so the ball goes through the hands of the British and Irish Lions. Owen Farrell, the bigger is the man who didn't quite make it, is there. Great bit of work there by Spoon Corsi on the right-hand touchline. South African working hard here. Remember, they're 2 men down at the moment, but the the key here from the British and Irish Lions is to stretch them wide. They do so. There's a fantastic bit of work there by the British and Irish Lions as they go around the outside, brought down just shy of the South African touchline. Wyn Jones hammering his way through there. He's held up immediately by Malcolm Marx there. He's tried to do his work here, but held short again. And there's a penalty from the referee, Jaco Paper, who's saying the South Africans were offside. Again, there's a number of offsides here, but there's a clear plan here from the British and Irish Lions here to stretch the South African defense as wide as they can. 12 penalties from the SA team here.
Yeah, you can't win games with 12 penalties conceded and the opposition team only 5. You can't win games like that.
Yeah, absolutely not. As the South Africans immediately having to put some defense there. As Josh Navidi is the man who's doing a bit of work there to try and get the ball over the line. And it looks like there's a great bit of work there. They're able to get over. And in the 44th minute, the British and Irish Lions have a try through Wyn Jones, his first in BNI colours. But, it was inevitable, with the way they were building up with play.
And this time he didn't do a double movement. So this time he's got over the line and scored the try. But it was inevitable, with 30 men on the field, a powerhouse charging down on you. Nothing much you can do as a defensive squad. Yeah,
only Kitsoff, the man who was trying to prevent that. He was in support. Was Wyn Jones with Ian Henderson almost picking him up and throwing him over the line. So a great bit of work there, and the Lions have a try to their name. So 17-10 is the score with the conversion. All too easy there for Owen Farrell. 45 minutes gone. The South African A team came out flying in that first half, but it was a late charge by the Lions to try and upset their defensive efforts as we look to see Morne Steyn get going once again. He kicks it to the far side of the park. Remember, the Springboks, or the SAA team rather, are playing right to left and the Lions are playing left to right. Good bit of collection there by Falatau. He's brought down by Sbu Nkosi. Murray looking for an option there. He goes to Ken Owens instead of the box kick, which you would think in the own 22 would be the option. The Lions piling in here as they go all the way back to Maro Toje, who's about 3 players out from the ruck. But in the end, Conor Murray taking the opportunity to kick it out there. So it's out on the 22. There's a dummy throw there, but immediately, once again, no chance there of the throw. And it looks like Wyn Jones, a man, after scoring the try, was really unhappy, getting some assessment as the decision is Vunipola comes on in the end.
Yeah, it looks like he was just struggling there with a shoulder injury. Might have been, as he was towering over the try line, might have just maybe popped it out of his socket or something like that.
Yeah, hopefully not too serious of an injury. There was a discussion at halftime about some of these British and Irish Lions guys playing themselves out of the test squad. It's a big call, but it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. There's an advantage there from the lineouts. It's a poor bit of work there from the South African A's. There's a ball going through the hands. Lucanio trying to chase down his opposite number, but immediately the ball is thrown away to Daly, and Lucanio chucks him out of play there. Wonderful bit of work there by the South African captain.
No, he's definitely he's having a good game today. Not having stepped a foot wrong as of yet. Showing his physical side of the game. And even with us only being 13 men, we're not giving up with these British and Irish Lions. They still have to work for it. It's just not. It's not. Yeah. It's not just.
Absolutely.
We're not just rolling over.
It was a textbook tackle there from Lucanio. It's an interesting option here for the South African name. Malcolm Marx is going to be the man to throw it in. There's a dummy movement, but immediately it goes to, it looks like Nicholas Janssen. No, it's Reinhard Alstad, who is the man who picks it up. Malcolm Marx at the back of the mall now, as Cheslin Colby is doing things at the back there. And wonderful bit of turnover ball here by the Lions, but the South Africans looking like they're going to get away with it. They don't. They've held it up, and immediately the Lions have a penalty. Maro Toje is the man who is the one credited with doing the work, as well as Ian Henderson. But There was two poor lineouts there from the South African A team, Ruud.
Yeah, well, with only 7 men in the lineouts, you're not going to get that rolling maul going as you would normally get them going. As you see, South Africa setting up pretty well, but then British and Irish Lions just coming through here, just destroying them from the middle, and it's just not good enough from South Africa. Poor formation at the rolling maul.
So scrum now for the Lions on the 10-meter line of the South Africans. Remember, they're playing left to right are the British and Irish Lions, and so this scrum is within that 15-meter mark. So if you're thinking 10 meters from the halfway line and then 15 meters in from the sideline for a bit of description. So about 13, maybe 12 meters in from the sideline. The feed comes now from Conor Murray as Cheslin Colby, the man who is overseeing scrum half duties. There's a bit of a hold on, and there's a bit of there's a bit of handbags as Tom Curry's getting involved with Jasper Wiese.
I was waiting for this. You can't keep a fight. There's got to be a fight, at least one fight, especially with Franco Mostert as well.
Why is Faf de Klerk on the field? Faf de Klerk, get off the field.
I was just about...
How is he back on the field?
His yellow card is gone, but he just ran on the field and started fighting. He just started fighting already.
I think as soon as the fight started, Faf got the green light to go back on. So a bit of a discussion here from the referee just saying, "Hold on." Yeah, immediately. But that's Faf de Klerk. I mean, you remember during the Wales game where he got a bit of a stern talking to. So Vincent Koch, Stephen Kitsoff, and Malcolm Marx, between the two of them, are going to scrum down here. We're further infield. We're not as close to the touchline as initially we were. Tom Curry is the man, rather Conor Murray is going to be the man who is going to feed that into the scrum. Tom Curry is the man who was guilty in getting involved in that bit of argy-bargy. A collapsed scrum once again, but Jaco Paper is happy with it to continue as Conor Murray goes through the hands now. A bit of a 1-2 and a dummy throw as immediately Cheslin Colby is told to sit down by Chris Harris. He's absolutely hammered him there. There's an offside call, it looks like, and there's an advantage here for the British and Irish Lions. Good bit of work there by the South Africans to try and keep it at bay. Sam Simmons is the man on the park. There's an advantage still here for the Lions. Ball going through the hands now as it goes through the middle of the park. It is Marco Vunipola who is brought down in the middle of the field by Vincent Koch, but they don't stay on the ball all too long. They're not committing too many men to the breakdown are the Lions, but in the end it was Malcolm Marx who was guilty of holding play up there, and so they go back for the penalty. It's a poor bit of work by the South Africans. It's another disciplinary issue. It's rather Jasper Wiese. My apologies. It's not Jasper Wiese. It's Reinhard Elster, who is.
I was just about to say.
These players are difficult.
It's like
but a big bit of a handoff there on Cheslin Colby.
Yeah, sit down, son. Sit down. Right, and I'm sure Van Staden's yellow card is also going to be pretty much over now, as he has pretty much served his 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was Reinhard Alstad who was a late tackle initially and then holding up the ball. So double guilty there. So opportunity now for Owen Farrell to take this penalty for the Lions as Ruud will take over for the next couple of minutes.
Straight bang down the middle in the field, just on the 10-meter line. Should be an easy kick for a guy with Owen Farrell's ability. He will get the distance pretty much easily. It's just about the direction as he is lining up the kick. And if this does go over, British and Irish Lions are within 4 points of South Africa. And it kicks and it's straight down the middle. The distance is more than enough. And the score is 17-13. So we've got a game on here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's something that Otto and I spoke about in the South Africa-Georgia game, is the ability of substitutes to play a role in rugby games. I think South Africa with their bomb squad have changed the way coaches look at the bench. Cowan Dickey comes on for Owens.
as Mornay Steyn kicks off just inside the 22 of the British and Irish Lions, and then Toje takes a good take as they're trying to get the rolling maul on the go. Not a lot, you don't see that a lot, as they get in the rolling maul pretty much going as Conor Murray puts up the box kick into the hands of Willie LaRue, takes it cleanly, and now is he going to run? No, he's putting up a box kick for, I'm not sure, is that it's Jasper Visser chasing after it, and he just missed tackles Conor Murray, and Conor Murray under attack, and Faf de Klerk into the breakdown, trying to turn over ball, and it's into Vunipola, who gets over the advantage line, and it is now Owen Farrell with the up and under into the hands of looks like Damien. No, it is Mornay Steyn who gets met by a wall of British and Irish Lions, and it gets taken down. This is going to be turnover ball for the British and Irish Lions. No, it's not. I don't think it was rolling away, and South Africa get the penalty.
Yeah, it was good bit of work there from the South Africans, not allowing the Lions to get in at all there. And there is a bit of but please, sir, from the Lions to Jaco Paper to say, come on, he's knocked it on, but Jaco Paper is not interested, and immediately the resultant penalty is kicked out to touch.
Yeah, just outside the 22 of the British and Irish Lions. Mornay Steyn getting met by a very big wall of British and Irish Lions. I just think it was them not rolling away the British and Irish Lion fan. And Damian Willems is on the field for Damien de Allende. So he'll probably be playing in the center position as
Damien for Damien.
Exactly. That's the way you do it. And Damien de Allende, as always, having a good game. Malcolm Marks to feed the line out, finding Reinhardt. And it's a Toje who steals the ball and is brought down to the ground. The ruck is formed, and now it is Conor Murray trying to free that ball, probably going for the box kick, getting British and Irish Lions out of their own 22 as he puts up the box kick into the hands of, it looks like Jasper Visser, who goes up and takes it cleanly and is met by Tom Curry. Faf de Klerk with good clean ball, gives it into Vincent Goch, who takes it a few meters. Faf de Klerk again, probably going for the box kick. He does, and it is charged down by Toje, but into Nkosi, who doesn't take it cleanly, and Anthony Watson, who takes it into Elliot Davies, and Davies is met by Damien Willems. Owen Farrell under a bit of pressure, but gets through and puts the punt up, where Faf de Klerk takes it into the hands of Mornay Steyn, who puts up the up and under for Willie LaRue, who will not get it, and it's well taken by Conor Murray into the hands of Cowan Decky. Now Conor Murray into Kevin Sinclair, into the Vunipola, the replacement, and is brought down by Marco van Staden. Conor Murray into Owen Farrell, puts up the up and under for Reese Zamet, and Mornay Steyn has to do the cleanup work and is taken out into touch just outside the South African 22. So good player from the British and Irish Lions.
Absolutely, but it's something to be mindful of. We see Anthony Watson getting some treatment. We've seen a couple of British and Irish Lions players getting some treatment. The Springboks are going to have an interesting 3-match test series, because if the South African A team are hammering these guys, I mean, the tackles that are going on here, Ruud, are not something you would see as a practice game. These guys are out here to hurt the Lions players.
I think Rossi gave them the clear say, injure as many of these guys as you can. For every guy you injure, you get a looted TV or something like that. I think I don't want to say that they're hurting them on purpose, but they're definitely going out there showing that they're not here to play around and showing they're up here for the fight.
Some concern here for the South African A team as we see Willie LaRue getting some treatment as well. So there's a bit of a break in play here as both fullbacks getting some treatment. Just seeing how that last one that you spoke about with Anthony Watson and Spoon Nkosi competing for the ball there, but it was a wonderful tackle there.
Yeah, and Jasper Visser, a guy like Jasper Visser falling onto your ankle, it's not easy. It's not I'm surprised he's still able to walk. I would think that ankle would give away with Jasper Wiese falling on it. And as we see the most meters made in this game, Nkosi making 68 meters, Anthony Watson in second with 43, and then Tulipe Falatawa with 42 meters in third place. So we're seeing the British and Irish Lions running with their flanks a lot more than the South Africans are. And it's a quick break in play as it's a quick pass into Italje taking it up past the advantage line, and South Africa trying for the overtake, but it's not going to happen. As Conor Murray gives it into Kevin Sinclair, Conor Murray into Elliot Daly to Ryan Harris. Not Ryan Harris. I'm thinking of cricket at the moment. Sorry.
Watson.
Conor Murray into Italje, into Owen Farrell, into Vunipola, who gets hauled up by Ibn Esabeth. And it's Conor Murray again into Owen Farrell, who's met by Vincent Goch and Reinhard Alstad. Conor Murray into Tom Curry, who's taken down by, which looks like Damon Willemse. Conor Murray again into Henderson and into Cowan Decky, who gets taken down. Owen Farrell with the up and under for Anthony Watson, but it is going to be taken by Lukanya who's trying to get through the British and Irish Lions defense. And as he's taken down, Faf de Klerk with slow ball puts up not a box kick, more of a chip that's just running into touch. Not really. Elliot Daly getting put under pressure by Nkosi as Anthony Watson gets scrambled ball and goes over the advantage line with Aaron Farrell. And now Elliot Davey with a chip over the top into the South African 22. Cheslin Colby having to do the cleanup work, and he's met by Reese Zamet. And Cheslin Colby on his own try line under a lot of pressure here by the British and Irish Lions. Faf de Klerk having to do the cleanup work, giving it to Franco Mostert. And South Africa under a lot of pressure here with the British and Irish Lions. And it's a penalty for the British and Irish Lions. Not quite sure for what, but just on in front of the try line. Yeah, not releasing the ball. And they're going to take it quickly with Luke Cowan-Decky taking quickly with the help of Italje, brought down just in front of the line. Vunipola to go pick and go, and he's brought down just in front of the line. Kevin Sinclair, the next take, pick and go, as he is brought down just in front of the line. Cowan-Decky to go again. He picks and goes, brought down by Malcolm Marks just in front of the line. Now, Conor Murray into Harris, who's brought down by Damien Willemse. Italje going for the pick and go, almost onto the try line, but he's just brought back again. Was very close. Cowan-Decky passes it into Sam Simpson. It's gone backwards according to Jaco Paper, and now Lions have lost a few meters, getting pushed back 5 or so meters from the 5-meter line. Now Navidi into the picks and go. Then Italje picks and goes next, making the meters slowly but surely. Kevin Sinclair, the next pick and go. No, he doesn't. He passes it to Cowan-Decky, who's trying to get through that South African defense. And it is Conor Murray into Aki, who just tries to who has to do some defensive work. As it is now, I'm not quite sure who that was. Picked and goes. It's Ian Henderson, who's the next to try and pick and go, who is backed up by Italje. And now it is Kevin Sinclair who passes it into the hands of Owen Farrell. And now Harris puts it out wide for Reese Zamet, who's going for the corner. And he's just short, I think. Was he short?
Yeah, I think he's double tapped it there. he's double tapped it.
Probably.
The frustrating thing for me, for those who can see on YouTube, I'm remonstrating because at some point it looked like there was a knock-on, a clear knock-on, and Jaco Paper and his assistants not picking it up. But nevertheless,
I think
a wonderful bit of play there by the British and Irish Lions.
I think it was of Simmons.
To me, it looked like it was. I wanted it to be it looked like a knock-on to me. I'm not ref, so I'm not.
At
I'm not
least just look
Paper.
at it. At least just look at it, you know.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask the question. And I think it might be part of the conversation Lucanio is having here with Wayne Bonds, the assistant referee on the far side. But they're just having a look here at how this try scoring opportunity here for the Lions, whether it was actually a try. Just having a look at Lou Rees-Zammit. He had Damian Willemse around his shoulders, and he had the number 6 Marco van Staden at his ankles. But he's gone once, gone twice, and then Morné Steyn has arrived to hold him up there with Faf de Klerk, and looks like a bit of support there for the British and Irish Lions. But I don't know, Ruud, is this a try? Is it a double movement?
It's hard to say, because it's not like he's putting his whole body. It's just doing from there, just taking it forward. But it might be because it's there, back, going forward again. Oh, I'm glad I'm not drifting.
The initial touchdown is no try, but the second touchdown is on the line, which is a try. So the question is, are they going to say he's double bouncing here? Is it double attempt, double movement, or is he going to be given a try? So Lucanio is saying clearly there's a double movement there. So there's a conversation happening now between Jaco Peyper and the assistant referee. Lucanio is saying, come on, there's clearly 2 movements there, Jaco. You can't say to me that there's not 2 movements. And I think you and I, Ruud, can agree that there is 2 movements.
Especially if you look at when Jones's first attempt at try, if they gave that one as a double movement, they've got to give this one as a double movement.
Yeah, I definitely think so. So Conor Murray is having a conversation with Jaco Peyper as they meander through to the far side. Rees-Zammit is saying, come on, just decide. Is it no try or is it a try? So double movement, South African penalty. Sigh of relief here from us in the commentary box, because South Africa would have been under pressure as we head towards the hour mark.
Yeah, as Morné Steyn clears for touch just outside his own 22. So obviously he doesn't have the boot he used to have, but still just getting it outside his 22, and then Malcolm Marx with the line out, having to go from there. Oh, that might have also been
bit of work there from the British and Irish Lions. Yeah, you see, that's the concern that I have. Yeah, that's a concern that I have, is that those kind of maybe that, you know, we could be completely wrong, but immediately Malcolm Marx to Eben Etzebeth, and there's a maul now on the 22-meter line of the Springboks. It doesn't go anywhere, but South Africa still pushing hard here. Rather, not the Springboks, South Africa. Eventually they get the bit of momentum going. The first call of use it is there from Jaco Peyper, as the South Africans are absolutely mauling their way through here. For lack of a better word, they're absolutely demolishing their way here through the Lions territory. They get from the 22 almost to the 10, and then a box kick by Faf de Klerk, an opportunity for Jesse Kriel to take a catch, but it goes out, and it will be looking like a South African throw. Jesse Kriel, a man who's come onto the park, snuck on without us even realizing, Ruud.
Yeah, what do you think? He's probably coming on for what's his name? Kanya if I've got to presume, because he normally plays in the center position, or maybe Willie Leroux with that injury. And
he might be on for Willie Leroux. Remember Willie Leroux with the injury.
Yeah. And then Willemse will go to
Willemse to fullback.
Yeah, so it's interesting to see.
Throw now to Franco Mostert. The ball is immediately overturned. Reinhard Allstad, but the problem is that the Lions had pulled down the man in the line out, and so there's a free kick here for the South Africans. The guilty party there is Maro Toje, as well as his partner Ian Henderson. Both of those locks are guilty of that one. A bit of lazy stuff as South Africa decide they're going to go for the poles there. Ruud, tell us about what happened there in that line out.
Yeah, I think it's just playing Franco Mostert in the air, as you can see. Henderson obviously playing the man in the air, and then knock on from Henderson, and Itoje taking it from an offside position. So basically a double penalty, as Morné Steyn going for the penalty kick just outside the British and Irish Lions 10-meter mark, so around 45 meters to the poles. So you think he should have the distance to get there. But if we're looking at his touch, his punts for touch so far today doesn't look like he's kicking it as far as he usually does.
Yeah, absolutely, and we see Kuni Oosthuizen making his way onto the park, a man who's been in the shadows of South African Springbok rugby, a guy who is kind of regularly a part of the opportunities to pack down in the front row. As we see this one get hooked to the left hand side of the upright by Morne Steyn and caught quite simply. So there'll be a 22-meter dropout here for Owen Farrell. It's a concern for the South Africans because Morne Steyn, the experience of Morne Steyn in the team is one that's invaluable. The new man on the park is Ferguson. He's going to come on for Sinclair. So as well as Henderson coming off for Beard. So it looks like absolutely a new opportunity here for these front men here as the kickoff there from the 22 dropout goes to Jasper Wiese, who finds contact immediately. Marco van Staden is the option, and Morne Steyn going with the up and under. An opportunity for South Africa to collect the ball. Maro Itoje is the eventual recipient of the ball. So the British and Irish Lions on their own 10-meter line, with Conor Murray having to do a bit of guiding here of his men. It looks like he's setting up once again for the box kick. He tries Franco Mostert to cut it off, but in the end it comes out for Vunipola, who collects that from the up and under. An opportunity once again for them to go to the left. They don't go through Conor Murray there, but rather Bundy Aki, and they once again find themselves in a similar position, but about 10 meters further. Vunipola is asked if he wants it. The poor pass there, but Owen Farrell able to recover as he kicks up a cross kick, and Morne Steyn not quite confident there under the high ball. Good would have worked there from Jesse Kriel to bring him down inside the South African half, but it looks like the South Africans have turned the ball over there. Itoje looks like he might be guilty here, but the referee sees nothing from it. Immediately Faf de Klerk has his kick chased down, but thankfully Damian Willemse is able to collect it. He offloads it to Cheslin Colby, who's found by the big man in Marco Vunipola. South Africa having to work hard here inside their own 22 in order to keep this ball. Faf de Klerk to Morne Steyn, who kicks it out at about the 10-meter mark of the South African halfway line. And it's a concern for the South Africans here. A late bit of panic.
Yeah, and it's not the first kick from Faf de Klerk that's been almost charged down. It's just like they're targeting him, especially because I'm not quite sure what it is, but his two kicks are getting charged down the whole time.
Yeah, it's something that was common in the Rugby World Cup. You know, it was the box kick option was more common than most teams with South Africa, and it worked most of the time. But I think, Warren Gatland and his team have had a lot of assessment of the World Cup. Even if you follow some YouTube channels, like you should follow ours and ring the bell so that you know exactly when we're going to be going again. Luke Cowan-Dickey is the man who's going to be throwing as Janssen van Rensburg comes on for Marco van Staden. Ball going now to the number 12 for the Lions, Aki, who is brought down in the middle of the park, just over the 10-meter line. Ball going through the hands as it is brought down on the far right-hand side. Malcolm Marx doing a fantastic bit of work, and there's an advantage, and immediately the penalty is given. Malcolm Marx, there was all over those British and Irish Lions player. What a great bit of work there at the breakdown route.
Well, what else do you expect from Malcolm Marx? He's the king of turnovers. I mean, if you want anybody to take over something, it's Malcolm Marx. I mean, what a legend. Not a lot of people would probably be able to take that over. And, he gets to the breakdown so early before the ruck and fall. He's just on that ball so quickly. And once he's on that ball, you're not getting him off anytime soon.
Good bit of work there. It was the number 13, Chris Harris, from the Lions, who was brought into contact there by Malcolm Marx, who was immediately supported by Vincent Koch. But it was a fantastic bit of work there by the South Africans as they brought that penalty to bear. So Morne Steyn in the follow-up kick sends it to touch. We're about 25 meters away from that Lions touchline. Malcolm Marx looking for an option. It looks like it's going to go to Franco Mostert. It doesn't. It goes to Eben Etzebeth, the maul immediately forming, but South Africa being dominated there, so they throw it away from the maul to Reinhard Alstad, who's brought into contact. Faf de Klerk to a wonderful bit of hands there from Nicolaas Janssen van Rensburg, immediately getting rid of it out of the contact there. Kuni Oosthuizen taken into contact. He's got his front row in support there with him. Faf de Klerk going right once again. Vincent Koch up and on his feet and getting some good support there from Marco Janssen van Rensburg. Malcolm Marx with the ball now, the pick and go. The option to the forward. Faf de Klerk again at the back of the scrum, back of the ruck. 6 phases now. The 7th phase is the man, it's not Kuni Oosthuizen, it's Jasper Visser, who goes into contact there, and they switch players. They go to the right-hand side. The option for the left-handed box kick there goes as South Africa have to do a bit of work at knocked back, but Spoon Kosi's all over Elliot Daly, who manages to get the ball out from inside his own try line, but that could have gone very badly there for the Lions. I mean, they were caught with their pants down.
Yeah, it's a lot of people would say Faf de Klerk throw the ball away, but it worked. I mean, of course, they're putting the pressure on Elliot Daly, and we made 4 or 5 meters, and we've just got to keep making those meters until we finally get to the try line.
Absolutely. So an opportunity now for South Africa A to attack. Malcolm Marx is looking for his first recipient. It looks like it might be Nicolaas Janssen van Rensburg. It isn't. It's Eben Etzebeth. Immediately the maul is formed, and referee Jaco Paper is happy with it. He's not happy with some of the Lions players that are coming around the outside. There's immediately an advantage for the South Africans as a ruck is formed. Faf de Klerk looking for options right. There's not much on the left. I don't think he'll go to the blind side. He does now go to the flanker of Reinhard Alstad, who is inevitably the man who turns the ball over. But thankfully, the South Africans still had an advantage. It was a poor bit of work there from the Lions through that maul, and it's a couple of times that this has happened. These teams evenly matched with strength, but not so in the mauls here. It looks like Mona Steen's going to kick for the corner.
Yeah, I think South Africa have been they've been sure to put the Lions under as much pressure in those mauls as possible. Because if you look, I'm not sure how many penalties have been conceded in those mauls, but it's been quite a lot. So it's an obvious ploy from South Africa to try and get as many penalties from that maul as possible.
Yeah, Bernet comes on for Navidi, a man who's had a wonderful game, worked hard. Immediately the throw goes to the first recipient, and the Lions are all into that. Everybody's in at the moment besides maybe one man. But South Africa A mauling hard here. It's going sideways towards the inside of the field, and there's the ball's held up there, it looks like, but nobody can get their hands on it. Wonderful bit of work there by Tom Curry to try and turn over the ball, and it looks like there's a penalty coming here for not releasing. And the South Africans are saying, specifically Lucanio Arm is saying, is that not a high tackle there by Tom Curry? But he does the hard work to turn over the ball there.
Yeah, and then in the result, British and Irish Lions get a scrum from it, and hopefully they can the scrum can hold strong and they can get out of their own 22. It is debatable if it was a high tackle, but all in all, well done by Tom Curry to turn over that ball. South Africa were looking dangerous, and somehow British and Irish Lions managed to clear the danger. As it is a scrum forming here just inside the 22 of the British and Irish Lions. It is a British and Irish Lions feed, just pretty much 10 meters inside the field of play, as Conor Murray puts it into the scrum. The scrum's holding strong at the moment, and Conor Murray gives it to, I'm not quite sure who that is. I think it's Aki, as Conor Murray gets quick ball again from the ruck, probably going for the box kick. Yeah, he is indeed going for the box kick. He's going for the box kick. He does, and it's chased down by Anthony Watson, but it won't get there. Chesson Colby takes it cleanly, and now he's got some room to move as he gets past Itolje and then past Vanapolo, who in the end takes it down. Faf de Klerk gets quick ball into Nicolaas Janssen van Rensburg, who tries to get past that advantage line. Faf de Klerk into Kuni Oosthuizen, the big man getting over the advantage line. Faf de Klerk into who's that? Reinhard Ibn Isabeth, who gets taken down by Itoje. Faf de Klerk trying to get the ball, very, very slow ball at the moment. Is he going to go for the box kick? It does look like they are forming for the box kick. They are indeed. So it's inside the British and Irish Lions half, and it's chased down by Anthony Watson, who takes it very nicely as he's brought down by Nicholas Janssen van Rensburg. And Conor Murray looking for quick ball into Aki, who's taken down by Kuni Oosthuizen in the end. And Conor Murray looking for quick ball, gets it into Kawedeki, taken down by Nicholas Janssen van Rensburg, as Conor Murray going for the looking for the box kick again, trying to get that territory game as he puts up the box kick for Anthony Watson, but it is taken by Cheslin Colby. Very well done there by Cheslin Colby. But the Lions all over Cheslin Colby as they try to take over the ball, but South Africa managed somehow to get it, and Jasper Wiese has it. The ruck is formed, and now Reinach is Cheslin Colby trying to get the ball out, and no, he leaves it to Faf de Klerk, who's trying to get the ball, and South Africa do have a penalty advantage. And Faf de Klerk into Monestein, who knocks it on, but South Africa do have the penalty advantage for, it looks like, offside from British and Irish Lions. So some good play there from both teams, but a bit sloppy.
No, it wasn't. Rather, it was not
rolling away.
It was tackler not rolling away. I think it's a bit of ill discipline there. But I think Monestein kind of had his eyes on something else, because he in that, the throw from rather it was a late tackle on Faf de Klerk, and the guilty party there was Tag Bonnet.
Yeah, and Faf de Klerk, like always, wanting to fight from the start. For a small man, he's surely got a lot to say. Surely wants to fight a lot.
Yeah. Well, he wants to fight for a place in the team. Remember, Kobus Reinach had a really good game against Georgia, and then guys like Herschel Yankees, who's still on the bench, by the way, is wanting to get a go in this game, and so there's a lot of contestation for positions.
And even somebody like Piet van Zyl, who's been playing well at the Blue Bulls, who also might get a chance in the near future, as he's also been in red hot form in the Super Rugby and Currie Cup.
That's the key. As we see the man himself, Herschel Yankees, that brace on debut against New Zealand is on the park. Faf de Klerk makes way.
That was a good game from Faf de Klerk. Didn't really put a foot wrong, except for maybe a few charged kicks.
The yellow card, mate. Don't forget the yellow card.
But as it looks like, according to what the TV, it says that he's come on for Jasper Wiese, but I can't think that that's correct. He's probably come on for Faf de Klerk. Maybe Jasper.
No, Faf de Klerk is still on the field. Still on the park, so I'm not.
Huh? Jasper Wiese.
We'll just have a look and see if we can see.
We can't
who's
see
joining
Jasper
the
Wiese
lineup
anymore.
here. Who's not supposed to? No,
it doesn't look like.
Well, Herschel Yankees is on the park, and so that's great. We just have to see. He might be on for a wing. You see, Herschel Yankees might be on for a wing.
As South Africa,
maybe a spoon Corsi, but I don't think so.
As Faf de Klerk gets very slow ball in here to Franco Mostert, who picks and drives Faf de Klerk into Nicholas Janssen van Rensburg, who tries to take over the advantage line with no avail, and Faf de Klerk into Monestein, who goes for the drop kick, and it's just to the side, and it should be a 22-meter dropout. So not a bad idea from South Africa, trying to get those 3 points, trying to get the lead up to 7 points. So at worst case scenario, it's a draw, as Owen Farrell puts up a quick 22-meter dropout, as Monestein puts up the up and under for Herschel Yankees, who looks like to be on the wing. He takes down Elliot Daly and Vincent Goch in a bit of an offside position, as Conor Murray gets it into Kawendeki. No, it's not Kawendeki. pardon, as Conor Murray into Owen Farrell, puts it up and under for Anthony Watson. Jason Colby up, great take. A quick ball for Faf de Klerk, who gets it into Reinhard Alstad, who takes it over the advantage line. Faf de Klerk, the quick up and under, not going very far, probably just 5 meters at most, and he takes his own kick. So not a lot of effort with no reward really. As Jason Colby taking over the scrum half duties, gives it out to Franco Mostert and Faf de Klerk back at scrum half. Waiting up for the box kick, and it is Nkosi chasing after it. Elliot Daly takes the ball, and Nkosi with a good tackle, supported by Damian Willemse and South Africa all over the British Irish lines. Conor Murray into Owen Farrell, puts up a grubber kick for Reese Zamet, who kicks it forward, and it's into touch just outside South Africa's 22. So a bit of...
This is an interesting play by South Africa.
Back and forth.
Yeah, but a good bit of work there by South Africa to put pressure on the lines. My concern is we have Herschel Yankees on the field. We have Faf de Klerk on the field. And we have both of our wings still on the field. So I'm trying to find out where perhaps Lucanio is the man who's come off and not Jasper Wiese, because I don't think with the possibility of uncontested scrums that they would do that. So I think the key here for South Africa is it's obviously a practice game to see as well the players who didn't start in the previous Georgia test, to see how they would go about it. But it was a wonderful bit of work here from the South Africans to not allow the Lions to run away with this game late. I think the next couple of minutes here, the next 5 or so minutes as we head towards the full-time hooter are going to be key here, because the work rate of the Lions hasn't really dropped off. The intensity that they've shown to the South Africans has been absolutely something to be inspired about. And I think these guys, for example, Tom Curry today, we're just having a look at his stats, 36 meters made, 8 carries, wonderful bit of work.
As Malcolm marks into Nicolas Janssen van Rensburg, and they're trying to get the maul going. Faf de Klerk at the back, waiting for Malcolm Marks to give it up to him, but he's not going to give it up just yet, as South Africa is still moving forward over the advantage line as they break off the main maul now. And now Malcolm Marks the maul. Malcolm Marks makes a run for it, and is taken down by number 18 Ferguson, and Faf de Klerk as it would go for himself, and he puts up a little cross kick for Herschel Yankees, who is taken out by Elliot Daly. Top tackle. He would have probably been through there for a try if Elliot Daly wasn't there for the cover tackle.
I like that idea from Faf de Klerk. Cheslin Colby was out by himself, and thankfully for the Lions, it looks like Elliot Daly was the man who hammered him into touch there. He's on the left-hand wing there for South Africa. So I think it is rather Spoon Corsi who's gone to the center position. But great bit of work there from the South African scrum half, just to look at another option there, as the resultant kick from the penalty is out on the far side. So
then does Lukanya or Jesse Creel go into that number 8 position, because Jasper Wiese, as I can't see him on the field.
So I think Lukanya come off. So I think Lukanya has come off, and then Herschel Yankees has gone to the wing, and Spoon Corsi's gone to the outside center position with Jesse Creel at inside center. So it's just a shift in the back here, as we're going to see a line out here for South Africa. Losing it against the head, winning it against the head, the British and Irish Lions, but this time through to Eben Etzebeth.
As South Africa trying to get the maul going, Faf de Klerk at the back of the maul waiting, and British and Irish Lions somehow managed to take it over as Owen Farrell gives it to Aki, who is taken down by Damian Willemse, and Lukanya is still on the field. So that's interesting to see, as the replacement scrum half gives it to Harris. And now it is Gareth Davis into Tom Curry, into Owen Farrell, into Daly, who is dancing around with the South African defense. And now, and it's a quick, Faf de Klerk, I thought he had it. thought he was safe there, but apparently he was offside. And now a big fight here again. So some fists maybe looking to fly. Vincent Goch getting into the action, but it's been broken up pretty quickly. So with Lakanya, I'm still on the field. Jasper Wiese probably the guy going off. So this is very, very interesting. If there's supposed to be a scrum now. Oof.
Yeah, it looked like a bit of a high tackle there on Faf de Klerk, but not given by the officials. And it's a bit of dodgy behavior from Owen Farrell. And it's not unlike Owen Farrell to do that. We know he's kind of the to quote Squidge Rugby, is the pantomime villain that everybody loves to hate.
As it is Kowie Deke into the lineout, and Tom Curry breaks free with Gareth Davis getting over the advantage line. And now ruck has formed, and it's a pick and go from Ferguson, who loses it forward, and it is going to be a scrum, and probably the last play of the match, as it is South Africa to feed. The score is 17-13 with 5 minutes left on the clock. South Africa, no Jasper Wiese. So it's probably going to be. So
5 seconds. Don't confuse us. It's 5 seconds, not 5 minutes.
Oh, 5 seconds. Sorry. Okay, the Hooter has just sounded it.
The Hooter has gone, and it's going to be a South African feed.
So, last play.
Let's have a look at how these teams pack down.
Yeah.
Let's see how they pack down, because
it looks like Jesse Creel at 8th man. It looks like Jesse Creel's at 8th man. With Nkosi still on the wing. Damian Willems it's Jesse
Krill at flank, rather. He's at open side flanker.
Oh, this is interesting.
Yes, so, Jesse Krill.
Let's go. Okay, so it's Faf de Klerk to feed the line out of the scrum final game. And now the British and Irish Lions putting a lot of pressure on South Africa. And it's going to have to be a reset. Oh, the British and Irish Lions need to get this ball back and get the penalty, or either get the penalty just to keep their hopes alive.
Jesse Creel was absolutely being hammered there by Curry, because he looked like a Tokyo Drift driver. He was spinning there. I think there's going to be massive pressure here from Tom Curry, the blindside flanker for the Lions here. They're going to absolutely hammer them here at the last scrum. They know that this is the only way that they're going to win this game, is to get a penalty here and go for the tap and go, because if you kick it out, that's the game. So Creel in once again to the scrum.
But now Creel moving to 8th man with Alstad into 7th, and de Klerk in and he's lost it, and Willems somehow manages to kick the ball out, and South Africa win with 4 points. What about that last play?
What a comedy of errors. What a comedy of errors. So the intended throw from the back of the scrum from Faf de Klerk was stopped there by a hand of Tom Curry, but it was a fantastic punt in the end by the man Damian Willems, who just literally swung his leg from about his right ear through to his left ear, absolutely smashed that into the stands. And so South Africa pulling off a surprise win here, Ruth. It's one that most people would have thought coming into this game that they would be, it would be a close game, but not one that South Africa would win. The bookies initially had put the British and Irish Lions to win by only 1 point. So good to see some positive stuff here, but I don't think it's a clear indication of how Test rugby is going to go. We will bring you all of that. Ruth, what are your thoughts of this game?
Oh, a lot of unforced errors, a lot of penalties. South Africa is going to assume a lot of these players are going to get into the Springbok team that's going to play against the British and Irish Lions. They've got to clean up their act. Far too many penalties conceded, far too many knock-ons. Just not good enough to play against the full British and Irish Lions setup.
Yeah, it's going to be some questions that need to be asked by these South African coaching staff, as well as some of the players. We will be bringing you every single moment of this 3-match test series. If there is another South African game on Saturday, we will definitely be bringing it to you. But until then, we will be bringing you some cricket action in the meantime. The third one-day international from Malahide in Dublin. We will be on Guerrilla Cricket South Africa, which is a part of the One World Sports Radio. So from myself, Coach Dave and Rut, it's been a pleasure to bring you this game. Thank you to our producer, Simon Gear, and thank you to all of you for joining us this evening. We will see you soon. Stay safe, sanitize, social distance, and keep strong.